What's up, my loves? My name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and this is the Hamilton Book Tag. So this tag was created by Maureen Keevy, and I can't remember if someone tagged me or if I just stumbled across it and decided to do it. But if someone did tag me, I'll leave their information in the description box below. And yeah, so Maureen created this tag to celebrate the musical that is Hamilton. I've recently fallen in love with it, and so I thought, let's do this. Each of the prompts are created from one of the songs that are in the musical. The first prompt is The Room Where It Happens, a book world you would put yourself into, and I would definitely live in the Tea Dragon world by Katie O'Neill. This is the Tea Dragon Society, and essentially this is just wholesome. It's about tea dragons and being able to create tea, brew it in particular ways based off the dragons that exist in this world. So I would definitely love to be in this world, considering I am a massive tea drinker and would absolutely love to be a part of this world. The next is the Schuyler Sisters, and that is an underrated female character. So I would definitely have to go with Isabella from A Heart in the Body and the World by Deb Coletti. So this is Isabella comprehend a particular event that happened in recent times. So she decides to run across the country until a particular date, and so she's just making her way across. Her granddad's following her, and I think she is so underrated. This book is so amazing, and I have heard a few people talk about it, but not as many as I would love to. And Isabella herself is never celebrated, and she is so strong and so amazing recovering from this, and the quotes that she speaks just hit so hard. The next is My Shot, a character that goes after what they want and doesn't let anything stop them, and I'd have to say Sadie by Courtney Summers definitely fulfills that. We're following Sadie's perspective as she's following in the footsteps of the murderer and trying to hunt them down, as well as a podcast that's following Sadie once she's gone missing. So I think that Sadie definitely is a very strong character that goes after what she wants and doesn't let anyone stop them. The next is Stay Alive, a character you wish had stayed alive. So spoilers, there is a character death in here. I'm not going to say who, but I do wish that they had stayed alive because I love them so much. But this story would not be the same if this death didn't happen. And I'm not going to say who the character is, but it's from The Female of the Species by Mindy McGuinness, and this is one of my all-time favourite books. I love it so much, and just holy hell, this hits in a whole different way. I spent the ending of this book just bawling my eyes out and still in shock that things happened. So yeah, definitely wish that they had stayed alive. So another warning for spoilers, the next is Burn, the most heartbreaking end to a relationship you've ever read. And honestly, but also, I can't say anything else, but ow, my soul. This hits in a very real way, as it's things that could happen, whereas with this, it's just oofed. So yeah, I love both these books. It was so poignant, and the end of the relationships hurt me so hard. The next is You'll Be Back, the sassiest villain, and I'm definitely going with Hades from the Wicked Villain series. So Hades comes more into play in the second book, Learn My Lesson, but he does act as one of the villains in Desperate Measures, which is the first one, and I found it so interesting. I just love his sass, and it's just, Hades characters just get me all the time. So yeah, definitely Hades from the Wicked Villain series. The Reynolds pamphlet is yet another one that might contain some spoilers, and that is a book with a plot twist you didn't see coming. So definitely The Library of the Unwritten was one that I did not see coming. Recently my partner was reading it, and he'll have his own little vlog clip of his response to it, but he was reading it and went to make dinner, and I've walked out trying to tease him, and he's just gone, oh, I can't deal, because of the plot twist that had happened, plus me teasing him. And I was like, just go read, I'll do dinner. So he went and sat and read and just needed time to compute, because it is amazing and very brilliant, and I think it's fantastic, and certainly a surprising plot twist. The next is Nonstop, a series you marathon. So I don't really have many series that I marathon all in one, but one that I read within the 3 months of starting is the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor, and oh my god, this is one of my favorite series of all time. So I read the first one and immediately picked up the next one the next month, and then Dreams of Gods and Monsters I think was the next month. I could be mistaken, but it was a very short period of time since starting these. So yeah, definitely oofty. I loved it. I love them so much. I could not put it down. The next is Satisfied. Favorite book with multiple POVs. And for me, this is definitely This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amel Elmorta and Max Gladstone. This is following Red and Blue, told in alternating perspectives, and they leave letters that are found in different ways. And yeah, so it's just following their perspectives as well as a narrator, I believe, as well. So it's not always their letters, but for the most part. So it goes their letters and then third person narration style as well. And for such a little book, it was so beautifully written, and I just adore it. This was one of my favorite books of this year that I've read. Yeah, definitely loved it. Get to the point where people will just be anti-racist. You won't need to have a book to tell people just how to be better. But until that point, I think it is a really powerful book that can help to shape history and to remember what we need to be doing to make a better world for everyone. And yeah, I think it's a really powerful book as well. So now we get some bonus questions. The first is Helpless, a relationship you were pulling for from the very start, and definitely Simon and Emily in Well Met. I just adored them, and it's hate to love, but it's not really hate, but it's dislike to love, and I just adore it. So definitely loved this couple straight from the start, and I was just living for their chemistry. The next is the 10 Dual Commandments, my favorite fight scene, and that would definitely be when Matilda's taking down Trunchbull. So I think, like, I'm not into really remembering fight scenes. There might be a few that stand out, like there would be some in Game of Thrones, the Farseer trilogy, or just other usually high fantasy. But none of those really stick with me. And I think because what I want is it to be cleverly written. So I liked the way that Matilda takes on Trunchbull and does show her who's boss. I like that she uses all the different things brought together to be able to make this happen. And I think it's also a really comedic moment in the movies as well. They've taken it and then expanded on it, and it was just really fun to watch, and so I always have a fond memory when I think of fight scenes. That's what I think of. The next is Say No to This, guilty pleasure reads, and I definitely have to go with the Wicked Villain series. I just absolutely adore it. But it's like Disney smart, so I'm like, I feel a little guilty because these are characters that I grew up with, but at the same time, who cares? I adore it. I think it's fantastically written, and I adore the sex scenes and just getting to know these characters on a more adult level. So yeah, that's definitely my guilty pleasure, but I don't really feel that guilty about it. It's only when I'm like, these were children's characters that I'm like, okay. The next is What Comes Next, a series you wish had more books, and I definitely think that the Archive series deserves more books. I would love to be back with Mackenzie and in this world. I've really enjoyed it. I know that originally there was supposed to be a third book, but it didn't get picked up, so fingers crossed that it will happen one day, because I'm more than happy to continue reading about Mackenzie and Wes, and I really enjoyed this and wish there was more to it. The next is Right Hand Man, your favorite bro TP, and I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but Aziraphale and Crowley are definitely my favorite bro TP. Like, they're just hilarious, and I want them to be together. And yeah, so this is from Good Omens, written by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I think that their dynamic works brilliantly, having an angel and a demon, and it's just a whole lot of fun British humour, and I really enjoy it. And finally, what did I miss? A book or series you were late to reading was definitely the ACOTAR series. So I've read the first and the second I did not know I needed that so much in my life. But yeah, I still haven't read the third, which I think is a common thread. Not many people do read the third straight off the bat, so I will get to it eventually. But yeah, I was definitely late in picking this up, as I only got to it February of this year, and I've heard about it for 4 years now, probably longer, 5 years. So 4 or 5 years. And yeah, I'm really happy that I did get to it, and I found it was really interesting, and I had a lot of discussions with my friends about it. So yeah. So that was the Hamilton book tag. I'm going to tag Abbey as well as Cara. Cara doesn't usually do tags, but I'm tagging you in it anyway because I want to tag you in it. I'm also going to tag Jacqueline from Jaxiejaxreads on Instagram, so hopefully she'll post it on her Instagram if you want to go and follow her and check her out for when that happens. And yeah, let me know in the comments below some of your answers. What have you missed? What were you late reading? And what's your favourite fight scene? Because apparently I have no idea about fight scenes, so it'd be great if anyone had any other recommendations there. And yeah, feel free to answer any and all of the questions. I'll leave a link to everyone that I've tagged as well as the questions in the description box below. And yeah, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!